Cowboys have shown some consistency recently after a hot and cold start to their season. Today, the team traveled to Philadelphia with hopes of slowing down the top team in the NFC. With more on that, here's Mary Rominger with a preview of Instant Replay.
Yes, and tonight was a great opportunity to steal a win in a tough environment. And the Cowboys were up 17-14 at halftime, but the Eagles scored 2 touchdowns unanswered out of the intermission, and Dallas just couldn't close the gap.
Prescott. Pressure. He's in trouble. He's sacked. Josh Sweat gets home and there's no timeouts.
Dak Prescott needed 86 yards and 46 seconds for the potential game-winning score, but sloppy play squandered the Cowboys' walk-off attempts.
They just made a lot of efforts, sometimes more than us. Yeah, they took advantage of our mistakes. You know, we're gonna watch film and all get better as a team.
That's pretty much all Wemby had to say after this one. The other night in Phoenix, the Spurs let the Suns back into the game, but were able to regroup in time to get the win. But not the case today, as Toronto overcame a 22-point deficit and beat San Antonio in overtime.
6 defensive backs in there for the Buccaneers. Stroud looking. Deep ball. Hold in. Takedown.
That pass and catch not only set up the Texans' game-winning touchdown, but broke a rookie record as C.J. Stroud racked up 470 passing yards when it was all said and done. And the Texans running back just made some NFL history, doing something that hadn't been done in almost 20 years. The UTSA football team is on a 5-game winning streak. The Roadrunners and 7th-ranked Texas Longhorns are bowl eligible. And the second season of the high school football season is about to kick off this week. The playoffs begin on Thursday. Instant Replay is live starting at the top of the hour.
Lots to talk about. That Houston game was crazy.
Yes.
Running back, kicking, all sorts of crazy stuff. We'll talk all about that. We'll see you a little bit later. Thanks, Mary. And we'll see you right after this as the Nightbeat continues. A National Day of Prayer for Foster Children. November 12th is called Stand Sunday, where church congregations learn about the foster care crisis and learn about ways that they can help.
Yeah, this week I got to meet a local pastor who was a foster child herself, who says showing foster kids love can entirely change their futures.
By the time I was 12 years old, I became a ward of the state. There were 7 of us. I have 6 brothers and myself.
Pastor Rebecca McKay from Christian Family Church knows firsthand the high price kids pay for their safety.
We were now protected from our father, but we lost all that was left of our family.
She promised she would never forget where she came from, and as a pastor has come full circle. She's part of the Christ Coalition offering foster care support.
To really work with so many churches that provide counseling, provide housing, provide just all types of interventions.
On top of that, on November 12th, she'll lead the congregation in observing the National Stand Sunday focused on foster children.
So come Stand Sunday on November 12th, McKay will be up here praying and educating her congregation on the many ways to help. Of course, that includes adopting and fostering kids, but it also means wrapping around with resources for the families who have already taken kids in.
Providing babysitting, providing transportation to doctor's appointment, helping with extracurricular activities.
Nevada King is the director of faith-based initiatives at SJRC Texas, a foster care organization overseeing 27 counties, including Bear.
There are more children in care than there are homes,
causing the current foster care crisis, especially for teens and sibling groups.
The children that have suffered the most trauma, that causes them to have a higher level of care, and so it's harder to place them, and that's how they end up out of state.
I just really want to communicate the passion in the heart of the child whose heart cries are never heard because they just want someone to love them.
McKay knows congregations region-wide can truly show that life-changing love.
We're so glad she was able to talk about this topic. Stand Sunday is a week from today. If you want to participate, head to standsunday.com. Also, make sure to check out the SJRC website for information for their many events that educate the public about ways to help foster kids.
And it'll likely be a little bit cooler by this time next weekend. Right now, though, you're starting to notice a little bit more of that humidity tonight. Temperatures hovering right around that 70-degree mark here in San Antonio. Here's a look at the almanac data for today. We actually managed to dip down to 56 officially earlier this morning before the fog settled in. High temperature of 81, which is 6 degrees above the average of 75. Temperatures this afternoon looked very similar to what we saw yesterday. Most of us climbing into the 80s, 87 in Cotulla, 86 in Carrizo Springs. We had a few 70s out there, mainly north and west of San Antonio. 77 in Kerrville was the high temperature this afternoon, and 73 over in Rock Springs. Looking ahead to the upcoming work week, again, we're actually expected to warm even more so by Tuesday and Wednesday. High temperatures in the mid 80s, but then we see that next front move in just ahead of next weekend, bringing with it some additional rain chances, as well as another batch of some of that cooler air. So we'll talk a little bit more in depth about that, plus get you a look at what sunset times are going to do moving forward. Now that the time has changed, we'll have all those details a little bit later on, Tim.
All right, we'll see you then. Taking a look at news across America, one person is dead, 12 more sent to the hospital after a public transit bus crashed in Seattle. Authorities say that bus crashed into a different vehicle before running over a pedestrian and then crashing into a building. 11 of those victims are in stable condition. The other survivor was in critical condition at last check. The Seattle Police Department still investigating.
Staying in Washington state, 2 people are dead and 3 more injured after a bar shooting in Tacoma earlier this morning. Police say the shooting was not a random act of violence and that it happened after the shooter had an interaction with one of those victims. They have not said whether it was a fight or an argument that led to the shooting, but several rounds were fired inside the bar. That suspect still on the run tonight. Now we're heading to Nepal, where a devastating earthquake has claimed more than 150 lives so far. And with dozens more injured and unaccounted for, officials there only expect the death toll to rise. ABC's Lama Hassan reports on the rescue and recovery effort there.
Tonight, more than 24 hours since that devastating earthquake hit western Nepal, loved ones are beginning to prepare for a mass cremation. For some, it's simply too much to bear. Those who did survive are spending another night out in the open, braving the freezing cold temperatures. With officials now ending their search and rescue mission, it's a race against time to get aid to those who desperately need it. The focus shifting to providing tents and medical supplies, food and water for the victims who have lost everything. Planes packed with aid arriving from neighboring India today. The powerful earthquake measuring 5.6 striking western Nepal on Friday night just as people were sleeping, quickly reducing homes to rubble, cutting off communication and triggering landslides. And since then, dozens of aftershocks have been reported in the region. Lama Hassan, ABC News, London.
Texas prisons fresh off a lockdown. Coming up, an inside look what led to it. Prisons across the state are open once again after a weeks-long lockdown. The search process throughout each unit has been extensive, and we showed you what some of the things look like earlier this week. Now, KSAT Investigates' Lee Waldman shows us what's been found and the impact it's having on the inmate population.
We're going to be thorough. We're going to make sure that the facilities are safe and that we rid the facility as much contraband as we can.
Contraband like cell phones, alcohol, drugs, and weapons. An update posted on the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Facebook shows just how widespread this issue is. From the start of the lockdown on September 6 to October 6, 398 cell phones have been found, 482 weapons, 385 dangerous items like handcuff keys, tattoo guns, pills, and drug paraphernalia, and another 414 drug discoveries.
All of our facilities go through some type of shakedown procedure each year, but to take a whole system down at once had not been done since 2008.
Bobby Lumpkin is the director of Correctional Institutions Division. He says this lockdown is a major disruption to day-to-day life in prison.
It is very concerning. We've also had some serious assaults, some assaults of staff also, but inmate homicides.
As of October 4th, there have been 21 homicides at TDCJ prisons. 2022 saw 7 murders. 2021 had 9 for the year.
wanted to come home, and he wanted to venture in agriculture, and he wanted to help people get in shape.
Lashara Lampkin's 22-year-old son, Braylon Holly, was found dead in his cell on September 30th. A TDCJ spokesperson says it appears he was assaulted. Lampkin says he was close to his release date.
I know he wasn't perfect, but he did his time. He paid his dues. He shouldn't have to die.
Lampkin says Holly told her about the lockdown. She thought that meant he would be safe from any violence happening inside.
I mean, they were supposed to be on a lockdown. So I don't understand how this happened.
As with all deaths, the Office of the Inspector General is investigating what happened to Holly. On top of the murders, there's been 17 fatal overdoses this year as of early October. That's the same amount as all of 2022, and 5 more than 2021.
Think of a prison like a small city, right? And it's reflective of what's happening outside in the free world.
They're finding meth, fentanyl, cocaine, PCP, amphetamines, and large amounts of K2, or synthetic marijuana. Several staff members have been arrested for their involvement in bringing in drugs.
We're committed to rooting them out, finding those individuals, and ensuring that they're arrested and hopefully prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Over the past 5 years, there's been an exponential increase in the amount of contraband found inside of prisons, from attempts to throw things over this fence to even drone drops of illicit drugs and cell phones.
Considerable increase in some categories, 200, 300, 400% increase. Mail is one of the main pipelines.
And that was Lee Waldman reporting. Every part of the KSAT Investigates Inside Texas Prison that aired this week is available right now on our website under the KSAT Investigates tab on KSAT.com. We'll be right back. Longest day ever. Look, Mia has a halo behind her.
Still not over it.
It looks good right there.
Oh, I guess so. The position, right? Okay, so
You're such an angel.
I don't know about that, but thank you, Courtney. Thank you. Yeah, so let's talk about this awesome photo that I have behind me. We actually had some of these a couple weekends ago and we talked about it, but we actually had 2 days in a row, yesterday and today, where we saw this beautiful phenomena occur around the sun. So this is a 22-degree halo. It forms when we have a deck of high-level clouds present. Essentially what happens here, sunlight is refracted twice as the light passes through the ice crystals that make up this deck of high clouds, and then it bends it to make this halo effect around the sun. So we got an awesome amount of KSAT Connect photos, this one from Taylor McClelland, of these 22-degree halos. Now, something else that we saw with the sun today, of course, it set an hour earlier. Our sunset was at 5:44 earlier this evening. Here's a look at how those sunset times will play out here over the next several months. So at the end of this month, November 30th, actually a little bit earlier, 5:34 p.m. will be our sunset time. The end of this year, as we're wrapping up 2023, a little bit later, 5:45, similar to today. It's not until January 19th of next year that we'll see our next 6 p.m. hour sunset. And then if you're looking forward to the 7 p.m. hour, seeing the sunset a little bit later, we'll have to wait until we spring forward. March 10th is when we'll see that 7 p.m. hour sunset time of about 7:39. So yes, we are starting to see it get dark earlier, but hopefully you were able to get a little bit more sleep overnight. All right, as we look ahead to this week, tomorrow, patchy morning fog, highs in the low 80s, very similar to what we saw out there earlier today. Tuesday and Wednesday still going to be warm, and it's still going to be muggy. High temperatures topping off in the mid 80s. But by late week, just ahead of the weekend, that's when we're expecting this next cold front to move in. Yes, it does bring with it some cooler temperatures and also some more rain chances. We'll introduce those back into the forecast as well. But first, here's your Monday. Yet again, some patchy fog tomorrow morning. Be careful out there on the roadways. We're going to start off around 63 at 7 a.m., 76 at lunchtime. Forecast high of 82, mostly cloudy skies, winds out of the south-southwest at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. 85 in Pleasanton, 88 possible in Cotulla, some upper 70s, very very similar to earlier today, expected across the hill country, southern Edwards Plateau, 79 in Kerrville and 78 over in Rock Springs. We are going to see that warming trend take back over by Tuesday and into Wednesday, mid-80s expected, and then we see another drop in our temperatures by Friday and into next weekend, highs falling into the 60s after we see that next front push through. So here's what's happening in the upper levels of the atmosphere. High pressure in control for the most part right now, but you can see by Wednesday an area of low pressure is approaching the Four Corners region. That's going to swing eastward by Thursday and Friday, and essentially what's going to help that front push through our area. And it does look to bring with it, yes, a chance for some scattered rain and thunderstorms. As of right now, the heaviest rain looks to fall east of us, closer to the Houston area, but still we are expecting some activity out there on the radar to have to monitor. So right now we'll call it about a 40% potential Thursday and into Friday, and then just isolated as we head into next weekend. It's not going to be drought busting rain, but any little bit certainly helps. I want to show you some improvements that we had in the latest drought monitor that was released on Thursday, thanks to some rain that we saw the last week of October. So this was the drought monitor that we had released 2 weeks ago. You can see still exceptional drought in place for us here in Bexar County, points northward, but watch as I fade on the new drought monitor. Yes, some improvements. A lot of that has been trimmed out of the area and replaced with extreme drought. So we still have a long way to go when it comes to chipping away at this drought and alleviating it. So hopefully we'll be able to see some more rain, especially as this next front works its way in. Looking forward to some more cooler temperatures, but until then, have a couple more days where it is going to be warm and it is going to be muggy. I'm sorry, Tim. I know you're kind of disappointed.
Yeah, that's all right. You guys will make up for the rain eventually.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It'll come in buckets.
All right. Well, Halloween is a spooky memory, but for some reason, the horror movies still frightened audiences over the weekend. When will the scary movies end?
No, they still come out in November and December.
Why? The early estimates for the top 5 films at the box office. Next on the Nightbeat, I will be looking.
That one was bad.
Dígame, si convierte su salón de clases en un patio de recreo, ¿qué va a hacer después?
Radical, starring Eugenio Derbez, opened in 5th place on ticket sales of $2.7 million. Priscilla, about Priscilla Presley and her life with Elvis, made $5.1 million to debut number 4. Killers of the Flower Moon stayed in 3rd place, collecting another $7 million.
Yeah, it's going to be called the Eras Tour. See you there.
Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour is up to $166 million domestic after a 2nd place weekend worth $13.5 million.
If you're watching this video, it means you've been selected as Freddy's newest security guard.
A scary drop for Five Nights at Freddy's, which earned $19.4 million, down 76% from its debut, but still enough to stay number 1. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Don't waste your time. College football fans were on upset alert all day yesterday.
But I wasn't. The Longhorns avoid the drama. I feel like it was drama, though, watching that. We beat K-State in overtime, and it wasn't pretty. Let's head over to Mary Rominger. You're taking over Instant Replay tonight.
Yes, it's going to be a good show.
It's going to be a good one.
And we're talking about that top 25 matchup. There was plenty of drama. I agree with you, Courtney, but Texas walks away from yesterday's 33-30 OT win with an 8-1 record.
Empty backfield. Howard looking. Howard scrambles. Howard lets it go. Incomplete. And Texas survives.
Like UT, the UTSA football team is also officially bowl eligible after winning its 5th straight AAC game to improve to 5-3 overall. In UTSA's 37-29 win over North Texas yesterday, senior running back Kavorian Barnes led the Roadrunners' potent rushing attack with 129 yards on 16 carries and 2 touchdowns.
It's Henry.
The last week of the high school football regular season featured some fantastic games and big plays to get us ready for the playoffs. We'll present to you the best of big game coverage, which features one play we haven't seen this season, plus new teams enter 12's top 12. Also on IR, our poll question: what shocked you most of the Sunday slate? The Spurs losing after leading the Raptors by 22 points, the Cowboys dropping a close game in Philadelphia, or CJ Stroud's record-breaking performance to lift the Texans past Tampa Bay? Instant Replay is live and it's next.
Lots to talk about as always. I'm missing Larry, but it's nice that we're finally giving that guy some time.
He'll be back soon. He'll be back soon.
Thank you, Mary.
I like having Mary here. We'll be right back.